and welcome back to our Mario Kart 8 Deluxe podcast.
Welcome! We are your hosts, Aaron the Black Dragon,
JarylGaren. Which course do we wanna play?
Partystraße, Steinbachruinen, Donkey Kong Dschungel oder zufällig?
I wanna go party.
You wanna go party?
Yeah.
Well then let's party today.
In English it's Ribbon Road from Super Circuit.
See, that's a good thing that you know all of the names also in English.
I don't know all of the names.
You know all of the names and that's going to be the topic. You know everything.
I don't.
No. But yeah, we decided that since there's no new tracks out yet and there's also not really any information on when anything will come out, we're just gonna go online and race until we are done with the topic for the... Oh, no. Anyway, I mean, advantage for me, I haven't played it as much as you, so I might not be as screwed. So we're playing it online for the time, and we're just gonna race until we are done with the topic for the day. Yeah. You be honking, I guess.
Yes.
Let's see how tremendously bored we will get, and how incredibly amazing and imba all of the other people racing around the world are. This is something to point out, the Mario Kart community is still going strong even though this game is like how old by now?
The Switch version came out in 2017, like just a couple months after the Switch was released in March.
Oh, God.
And the Wii U version of Mario Kart 8, I have no idea if it's still active.
Yeah, this game by any means is old by now, like...
Yeah.
That was a close one. And it's still going stupidly strong despite all of that. There's a blue shell.
Ow.
Oh, you're in front of me. Well, good job on being in 5th place. I took that from you now, because I'm a vengeful spirit. Ow!
I thought you were going to do that one JoJo reference. Oh, you're approaching me.
Oh, you're approaching me.
I still need to watch that show.
Oh, JoJo Bizarre Adventure is such a trip, I can guarantee you. Especially if
it wouldn't be called Bizarre Adventure otherwise.
If it would be bizarre, yeah, that's right. I need to watch like season. What was it?
I don't know.
Ah, damn it! The one with Giorno. I need to
Boomerang.
watch. Yes, the one with the boomerang. That's
Boomerang.
definitely the one. Oh, hey, buddy! You're not gonna rank me with the boomer.
I've thrown my boomerang twice, and each time I was hit by something. What the hell?
Maybe it was your own boomerang that betrayed you in the end.
Boomerang.
Man, yeah, no Joe. Yeah, no Joe. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is fun. The last that I watched is the one with. Now I don't remember his name. I need to watch the one with Giovanni. And I watched the. Congratulations, I died. The one with. Not Jotaro. I watched the one with Jotaro, yes, with.
Damn it.
Also not the one with Jonathan. I also watched the one with John. Wow, we suck.
Great.
Congratulations, we suck. What was his name? I cannot remember his name. Josuke! Was it Josuke?
I don't know.
Future Aaron, please help me. But yeah, I had a blast with them and I mean I like the Wario stage a lot.
Should we go with that one?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
So yeah, definitely worth it. What we're watching right now, I mean next to waiting for season 2 of Spy and Family, because we watched all of these episodes. But we know that in October the next season will come out, so we're looking forward to that.
I know you're looking forward to Nier Automata on Switch, which comes out this October, I think.
Also in October?
I think so, yeah.
Good things are happening in October.
I absolutely did not expect Nier Automata coming out on the Switch.
Honestly, I also did not expect that.
And it's also coming out physically.
Which is really cool.
Which is really nice, but also Square. Kingdom Hearts is cloud-based, and it's one of the biggest franchises. I don't understand you.
Nobody does, I think. Everyone's like, they made choices for sure.
Yeah. But to be honest, I'm glad that Switch Nier Automata is getting a physical version, and that it seems to be a native port. So no having to be connected to the internet the entire time.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Because cloud versions in games might work, but honestly,
it's extremely weird for the Switch, where the entire shtick of the system is you can play it everywhere.
Yeah,
which
I mean
which with the cloud version is like you can play me if you have a good internet connection.
Yeah. I mean, in a technical way, because you have internet literally everywhere nowadays, you still can. Oh my gosh, there was a bomb! You can technically still play it everywhere. The problem just stands with, do you really have good enough internet everywhere?
Yeah.
Because I remember when we went to Pride and I got my new phone around that time. I think I had it for like the second day or so. And I still had to set up the whole internet shenanigans with that thing, because since the Google Pixel do not come out here in Austria and Google does not really support that
for some reason.
Yeah, which is really weird. For the longest time we weren't even able to get YouTube Premium here in Austria because Google said no. And we just recently got YouTube Premium because I was like, let's try it again, and then it just miraculously worked all of a sudden, and that was something. But yeah, I had to set up my phone's internet completely and had to set up the APN and everything just so that I could go into my net, into my provider's network as usual. So that was a tedious amount of work to do.
You got a new phone recently?
Yes, I have a Pixel 4 now.
Oh, nice. I didn't notice. Yeah. Did you buy it online or?
Yeah, I bought it online.
Nice.
I mean, there is a shop in Vienna where I could have gone and they have these phones, and we got booted.
Yeah, data connection.
Yeah,
error.
It's a fun thing.
Internet.
Fun for the whole family. Until it's not.
Was there internet ever fun for the whole family?
It depends on what sites you visit.
True.
But yeah, setting up the internet with that was something, because at the very beginning of the day in Pride where we were going around, I had internet, everything worked, and then during the day I lost it completely. And then I tried to connect into a... Oh wow, we're gonna have to sit here for a good long while. This is only round 1 in this loop. That's the downside with
online.
Yeah. That's a good thing that this is more a podcast than the Mario Kart thing. But yeah, I tried to connect to the internet at the place where we were in the Pride then, and because there were so many people there that tried to connect to the internet, it was like you had internet and you got booted out as soon as you touched the phone again. Like you connected, you're good to go, and it's gone.
Weird.
Yeah, there were so many people at Pride, so of course internet was gonna get lost constantly because so many people demanded a lot out of a network that was not designed to handle thousands of people being inside of that at the same time like this.
Kind of reminds me of the shenanigans that Nintendo's website had in America with the special edition for Xenoblade 3.
The special edition for Xenoblade 3?
Yeah, because...
What did I not catch there?
For some reason Nintendo is only selling the special edition for Xenoblade 3 on their official websites. And for America they were like, hi! You can pre-order Xenoblade 3 from our website now. And then literally everyone tried to access the site to buy it.
Oh yeah.
And it went alright.
Yeah, that site probably could not handle the amount of traffic that was coming their way.
I feel like no. I feel like no provider would have been able to handle that onslaught.
No, because no matter how much you're prepared for a lot of people coming to your servers, because there's huge games that have huge servers and everything, and even they first time launch are sometimes struggling with the amount of people that flood this game and just struggle to stay afloat of everything.
Yeah.
They can handle it a little bit better because they are suited, they are prepared for stuff to go down like that.
Yeah.
But even they struggle with the amount of just sheer gimme that game is going on there. So
I mean, there's definitely stuff to be said about Nintendo and their approach to online, but
that's true.
Yes, I get that it's extremely frustrating not being able to buy the special edition of a game you are looking forward to, but on the other side, I feel like no one else would be better in that situation.
Especially not like game companies that just make a pre-order launch thing. They are rarely prepared to handle that amount of stress.
I feel like in this case they really should have done it like they used to, where other sellers just sold the special edition and then Nintendo just delivered it to them.
Yeah, just anything but what happened there.
Yeah,
but that's the that's the tragic story that we got out of that. It's just you can be prepared as you want. If there is something that a lot of people want, you will get flooded, and that's something that some publishers, game designers and whatnot need to be wary about, because they underestimate a lot. You fucker! Oh, I thought that was you. That was not you. I'm not gonna take that back the statement of you fucker, but still. Oh gosh. Well, I'm doing swimmingly right now. But yeah, internet for everyone. Internet everywhere. Is it working?
no.
No. There is internet everywhere. Everyone can enjoy it. But trust you me, it's still poor.
If there was internet everywhere, we would be in the world of Megaman Battle Network.
I mean, we kind of are at this point, I want to say.
Yeah, that's the thing. We are actually kind of partway there with being basically Battle Network in real life.
Yeah, we have everything connected to the internet, like the things that were so hilariously funny to us when we played the Battle Network games for the first time, like your fridge, your TV,
your toilet,
yeah, everything connected to the internet, and it was such a weird joke back then, and you were like, that's so dumb, who would ever do that in their right mind? And lo and behold, you have ovens that are connected to the internet, you have fridges that are connected to the internet, like literally anything
the Internet of Things, smart devices,
yeah,
Battle.net. We are basically almost at exactly Battle Network.
Yeah.
It's just that Siri isn't like true to that level of sentience yet.
Yeah, we do not yet have the amount of personal assistance and navigation assistance that a NetNavi would actually provide you with in the Battle Network games. But I mean, there is some stuff out there already that goes in that direction, even though it's still not 100% at that point.
Yeah.
But I want to say, I can't wait to have my own NetNav. That's something that I was always really interested in, because I liked the idea back then, and still to this day I'm like, I wouldn't mind having a NetNav on my phone, like something that you can interact with like this, but I would never activate like, okay, Google or something like this, and that would have been really fun if it activated right now. But I have it deactivated because I'm not an idiot. I would go for Animal Crossing.
Okay.
Animal Crossing. Speaking of internet, Animal Crossing has internet connection.
Yeah. Also, I think it's really hilarious how, if you think about it, a lot of scenarios in Battle Network are surprisingly dark if you think about it. Like, oh, I remember that one scenario in Battle Network 2 where Lan is in the plane and you have to log into the plane's network in order to defeat the Gospel Navy and to save himself and everyone else that's flying in the plane. And if you think about it, that sounds fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
Or the first scenario in Battle Network 2 where Yai is in her steam bath or something and Gospel hacked her home and they're releasing poisonous gas into her bathroom or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play those games on the channel because they're gonna come to the channel.
Yeah. And then the dude who was responsible for the Airman scenario, which is the first scenario in that game, later gets fucking killed with a briefcase bomb.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that shit.
And then there's also the thing in Megaman Battle Network 1, in the Iceman scenario where you go to the waterworks to figure out why the water suddenly is gone. Then partway through the waterworks network, you bring the water back, but it's poisoned or polluted or something. So you have to go back into the network again and
wait. Are you telling me that Battle Network 2 had that water?
It was the first game.
Sorry, Battle Network 1 had that water.
Yes.
Shout out to Proton John from way back.
It was polluted water, to be fair.
Well, let's talk about being polluted and death water being the same technically.
Yeah. But
ow!
But yeah, I think starting with 4, the Battle Network series definitely got a bit more towards the fantastical side, if I remember correctly. But I don't know. Most of the scenarios in the first three games hit surprisingly close to being actually possible in real life nowadays. Yeah. Like in Battle Network 3, where you have to save the hospital network from being hacked.
Yeah.
And one of your friends you got in that game has a life-saving operation, and if you don't solve that problem, he is probably not going to survive that operation or something. If I remember that scenario correctly. It's been hot minutes since I played Battle Network 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
7? 7 doesn't exist. But yeah.
I mean, technically, there's 1 through 10 in the collection.
Yeah, they are splitting them up. They are counting all of the different versions
differently.
Yeah.
So,
oops, sorry.
Well, we take that road, I guess.
It's Neo Bowser City.
Ah, that one. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, everything connected to the internet and Battle Network getting closer and closer to being a reality is kind of an interesting thought. Especially if you think back to way back when the internet was not everywhere and was as pronounced. It was such a weird way to think about everything.
Yeah.
And now a lot of scenarios that you see are like, they actually nailed it.
Oh god. The first Battle Network game came out in 2001.
Yeah, that when the internet just started picking up. That was around the time when YouTube became a thing, really.
And I think YouTube...
Well, no. YouTube was, I think, purchased for the video platform service around 2001. You, Jaren? You please check out if I'm correct about that assumption there. Because I think that was around that time. So, yeah, that was before the internet really... Oh gosh, I drove straight into a banana. But the internet really got that big of a handle on everything.
But also, that reminds me of a really brilliant post I saw on Twitter, where it's like this with like the author. Here's my story about the super futuristic death machine, as a cautionary tale about this about making a futuristic death machine, and then the tech industry goes, "Hi, we recreated the futuristic death machine from this award-winning novel."
Yeah. But it's the same thing with Squid Games.
Oh yeah, right. Where there were some people being like, "Hi, we're making a Squid Game in reality now."
Yeah.
Where it's like they completely missed the point of the show.
Yeah. And I want to say I love Squid Game as the series. It's grim, it's dark, it's brutal, and all in all, not something that you want in real life. And the fact that they took away from the show, hey, people want to see this in real life and want to participate in that, is just a little bit stupid and extra grim on that, because that kind of just shows that the people that are rich and have way too much money can just do whatever the fuck they want.
And that they completely missed the point.
Yeah, and that there is also enough people out there that just would support this willingly and throw themselves to death for just the chance to earn money. So there is something to be said about both sides that support this idea. Because it's not just the rich people that made this happen that are definitely missing the point, but also the people that are willing to contest in something like this that kind of missed the point of how everything went. I lost my last you think.
But also on a lighter note, I've also heard the joke that Squid Game is a live-action adaptation of Mario Party.
Yeah, no, I would put it on the same way as, I don't know if that makes sense for anyone in America, but we had Takashi's Castle, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
I would put it along that lane, like these parkour course game shows where you have to run through something and get punched in the face or whatever, and yeah, the worst you get is maybe you break something if you fall bad, but that's the worst that probably might happen, if anything.
From what I remember, a lot of the surfaces that you can fall down on are like...
Yeah, they're cushioned.
But of course that still doesn't prevent if someone's like really unlucky or they fall bad or...
Because it might be cushioned as it may, but if you just fall stupidly on your wrist, it's bound to do something
like
to
what
that.
happened with me at work last year.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't miss that time.
I believe you. But yeah, that's also like just so weird. But I mean, I
rich people being weird? What?
That's news.
Rich people being completely disconnected from reality?
What? Don't you? How dare you make that assumption? I actually made it to second place in the last round.
Yeah, I'm not having a good one.
I don't know where I'm standing in the overall races here. I'm mostly going on autopilot when it comes to the racing right now, because I'm like, what are we talking about? Internet. Let's try to keep that afloat. What are we talking about now? Rich people being a-holes? Good, let's continue on that topic. Figuring out what the title of this podcast video will be, it's gonna be a nightmare.
Let's call it Talking.
Tolkien. Not like the one that writes the
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Who wrote it? Because I feel like he is dead already.
Is Tolkien dead?
I'm pretty sure that Tolkien is dead.
Hey Aaron, we're demanding a lot of you, but hey, check that out, please. Because I'm not 100% on that, and I'm not gonna make any assumptions right here. But yeah. Hey, eat that, please.
No.
Okay. That was... hit that corner perfectly. Oh, there's a blue shell. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, have you watched all of the movies? And also everything else that came afterwards?
No. I remember watching part of one of the movies, but I don't remember anything.
I mean, there is a lot going on inside of these movies, let's be totally frank.
Yeah. And I've also heard that they are fairly dry watches, so I I'm not really sure if I want to rewatch any of them.
I'm really tempted to rewatch them. That blooper did barely anything to me there, I want to say.
But also I'm just not really a movie person.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Which is something funny, because I'm also someone who is like, okay, sitting down for 1.5 hours to watch a whole movie and something like this. I just don't really have the time or endurance for that right now. I'm not the energy for that. But then I go and sit down and watch like a full-on VOD of a stream or something that's like 3 hours or so long, and just watch that in one go, and that's fine for me, and it's so weird.
Yeah.
But it's also the difference with if you go and watch like any YouTube video or a VOD or something, you rarely have like a linear story that you're following there, and where you might forget something or miss something, and you just pause that and do something else for an hour or so and come back to that, and then you continue watching. That's something you can do with a VOD, I feel, because what happened last might not be relevant for what's gonna happen next. Tokyo.
Okay.
But in a movie, I feel like if you take a break in between and do something for an hour, it like disconnects you from the world that it builds.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot more like world building in movies than it is with most streams or anything else.
I kind of feel similarly, but also I feel like I may have just had a better attention span as like a teenager or kid.
Might be. I mean, that's something that also changed a lot since we were little.
Also back in the day, as a kid, sometimes I could just play games for like several hours, and I wanted to keep going. But nowadays, when I play like a game for like 30 minutes or an hour, I'm like, okay, I'm done now.
Yeah.
But also it depends on the game, because some games nowadays are still like, I want to keep playing.
Yeah.
But it's so late, I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, no.
It depends on the game, really.
I know that feeling as well. Like, I had that at the beginning when Horizon Forbidden West came out, and it was like, I just want to play non-stop, and in one session I played like, I think for 4 or 5 hours. Wow. Straight, and I was like, I love this game. But right now I'm not in the mood for this type of game, the like third-person 3D open world kind of game is right now not what I'm looking for, which is interesting because right now the game that I'm playing a lot is Fallout 76, which is still open world and 3D, but just because the fact that you play first person and just the game mechanics are different and everything, I'm so much more interested in that right now, and I'm having such a hard time at the moment of getting into Horizon, which is honestly just a big shame because I love the Horizon games. So I'm a little bit sad that I'm right now not able to continue playing through Forbidden West, but at the same time I'm like, I will get to that because I definitely want to play through the game. It's just that at this point in time I'm a little bit done with that type of game, and
that kind of reminds me of when I played Bravely Default 2. The day it came out, it was like I played it for several hours, and then I just felt pretty much done with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally fine, because you still enjoy that game and you still want to play more of it, but just not right now, because something just does not hit as well. So
But
you're
also-
like,
But also,
you're gonna come back to that because you know you want to finish this game and you want to see where it's going.
But also, I think this thing that kind of bothered me about Bravely Default 2 is it didn't really feel as polished as Bravely Default 1 on the 3DS felt, and the beginning of the game just felt way too difficult. Monsters never really felt like they gave you enough experience points, and I don't know, maybe I was just going at it the wrong way, but it felt like it just could not progress with anything.
That sucks if you start into a game and that's a feeling that you get.
Which one?
Let's go for Yoshi.
Okay.
The fact that you did not elaborate anymore because there were 2 Yoshi stages there was kind of hilarious. But yeah, I get that when you start into a game and you feel like either progress is stagnating a bit because it feels slow, or something is a little bit too tough at the beginning where you feel like it should not be as tough.
Mm-hmm.
But that's always the moment when I encounter something like this. Before I say the game has obviously something wrong with it, I'm always like, am I approaching this completely wrong?
Yeah, it's like, am I approaching this wrong? Am I even in the mood for that kind of game at the moment?
So there's just
another game from Square Enix where I'm also just kind of stopped is Neo the World Ends With You.
Oh yeah, that one.
Like, the gameplay is really fun, the music is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I heard some of the tracks from The World Ends With You in general, and they have some really good soundtracks.
Right. But there's like a certain part of the game that they are overdoing it a little, in my opinion, when I'm like, I'm burnt out. I'm kind of done with the game now.
Okay.
Because Neo the World Ends With You has a certain base where it's like, hi, you have to fight pretty much non-stop in order to gain control of parts of Shibuya, and the team that has control of the most parts of the area wins.
Okay.
And the thing is, the battle system is fun, but when a lot of the in-game days of the game are spent on battling pretty much the same enemy type over and over, it unfortunately does get pretty tiring.
That's something that bothered me personally about Fallout 4 with the colonies that you could make. Because when you made colonies there, the settlers were constantly sending out signals that they needed help because they had raider attacks or death claws or whatever coming to take them on, and you had to jump in there and help them clear out anything that wanted to deal harm to them. And that was a constant thing across the game, permanently. Something like this would pop up. And I mean, you don't need to worry about those things, you can just ignore them completely because they're not mandatory, but if you're someone that wants to go through your quest log and everything and want to deal with stuff, and that something like this constantly pops up, that just takes so much time away from other things that you might want to do, and that's just a frustrating little bit, even though it keeps the game going and basically gives you endless options to do more things, which I guess Skyrim was one of the first games that did it like this, where you essentially never were able to run out of quests because the game would just spawn in random quests, like random, hey, the Jarl wants you to go out and kill this dragon or kill this specific bandit leader, and that way you always have something to do in Skyrim. But I feel like in Fallout 4 it wasn't handled as elegant, with the settlements constantly being like, hey, we need your help.
It's like your teammates in Star Fox constantly crying at you,
yeah.
Hey, get this guy off me!
You're a grown-ass frog, Slippy, you can do it yourself. So yeah, there's something to be said about having constant missions in games that you can do over and over, but it's frustrating if they get thrown into your face permanently like that. Because in Skyrim you have to go out of your way and find those quests. So you have to go to the Jarl or something, or to a certain career that then asks you to do those things, and it's not like, hey, that's just popping up in your quest log, now do that. like it is with Fallout 4, where you just run around and then you get the signal in and all of a sudden the people want your help. I had a blowout.
Yeah. Speaking of Skyrim, I still actually regret getting the game digitally on the Switch, because that game's fucking large, man.
Yeah, Skyrim Lord. Skyrim Lord boy.
Yeah.
It's also something with Skyrim and Fallout, so basically the Bethesda games I want to say, where I started off playing them on console, but now I cannot imagine going back to them being on console after playing them on PC for such a long amount of time now. Because first of all, first-person games I feel like just are so much better if you have faster control over your turning and everything, which is just something you don't have with a joystick. You just turn way too slow, and I feel like aiming and everything is just a lot more difficult than it is just with mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And the other thing is console commands are so incredibly helpful, because I got stuck in both games so often. Both games I say, in all the Bethesda games, so often tiny little brooks and something, or was all of a sudden stuck in the falling animation because I jumped off of one thing in a weird angle and my character would not stop falling down all of a sudden, and I could not fast travel out of that spot, because when you're falling you cannot fast travel. And then you cannot...
That feel when you stumble down a small ledge and you stub your toe, and it feels like the most fucking painful thing in existence.
Yeah, that essentially is what is happening when you're stuck in the falling animation in any of the Bethesda games and you cannot fast travel. Like, the pain is just unbearable and there's nothing you can do about that. And if you play on console, I don't know if you can actually activate the console commands on console like this and just type in so that you can go like no clip or whatever and just free yourself of your prison, but that's just such a big quality improvement for me since I'm playing on PC. Just to be able like, okay, I'm stuck, let's use console commands and I'm out of that situation right there.
I gave Skyrim on the Switch a try briefly, and I don't know, I don't think it's the kind of game for me. But also I'm not really that huge into open world games to begin with. I think the only open world game that I really enjoyed was Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild was a big one for you because you played that a lot.
Yeah, and now I'm like, I don't know if I can do another playthrough of that game. I think I'm still looking forward to the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
I'm really interested in seeing what that will be. Also, just want to point it out, at one point maybe I should tackle Breath of the Wild myself.
I mean, you have the Wii U version, right?
Yeah, but I feel like, because seeing how it is such a big game, I would most likely go into it for streaming, because then I'm not like, okay, I have like half an hour to do this thing and then half an hour to do that thing, because with big open world games, that's the reason why I'm not gonna like go for Skyrim or Fallout in that like situation like this, because it's way too complicated to really do anything. That's why I only did Skyrim in a role-play version where I could cut around and make everything look a little bit more seamless.
Yeah, I feel like an open world game like Breath of the Wild, a huge part of the experience is just walking around.
Yeah.
Looking into the distance, seeing what kind of stuff you can spot over there or over there.
Yeah.
And then being like, oh, there's something there, let's go check it out. Or no, wait, there. And I feel like that's just something that's better suited for streaming, because then you can also like see the reactions, the genuine reactions of the streamers, like for the first time, and nothing really gets cut away. So yeah, I feel like streaming would be the better place to check out Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Like in general, I feel like any big open world game where you're just gonna be running around a lot and have huge stretches of nothing really happening because you're just like, I just want to take a look around here because that looks like it could be something.
Yeah.
That's something that translates so much better into any streaming format than into a video format, because yes, in videos you can also just have the whole thing and have it unedited and whatnot and just have your fun with it, but I don't know, it just doesn't have the same feel in the long run than a stream, I personally feel. Hi, by the way. We've not been next to each other a lot in this run.
No.
And now we are really close to one
also
another.
with Breath of the Wild, I think you did a really good job with making the areas feel like places you could actually go to if you get dumped into a country that has that's like had a calamity happen and is like trying to go back to normal.
Trying to rebuild.
Trying to go back to nature, and I've already found a place where it's like, this place feels really cozy, I like it here.
Yeah. That's something that I have with games like, say it's stupid, like Minecraft. When you walk around and you're just trying to find a place to really settle down in the end, because a lot of times you just start building your first check somewhere. You're like, I need a place to just dump all my stuff in, and then you're like somewhere. Not like it was for Plop and I in its Minecraft, where we just took a cave over and that became the whole base for the whole series. Because we just kind of made it work for us, but a lot of times you're just walking around and you're like, yeah, I love this place, I want to build something here.
Should we go there?
Yeah, sure, let's go to the clouds. There is, I think, a minotaur in the midst.
What?
Behind the numbers.
Oh.
It looks like, I think it's a minotaur.
I can tell.
It looks interesting. Oh, that's something with the new sports game that they had. The mini sports resort. The Ultra Deluxe Plus.
Nintendo Switch Sport.
Yeah. They changed the design of the Miis.
No, it's just those are separate from the Miis. You can still play as the Miis, but the new characters are called Sportsmates.
Sportsmates?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been decreasing the relevance of the Miis a lot in the Switch era.
Yeah. Which is kind of a shame because the Miis are fun. Haha, nailed ya.
I don't know, I remember later on during, at least at the very latest during the Wii U era, thinking that Miis have kind of overstayed their welcome.
Think so?
At least I remember thinking so during the Wii U era.
I mean, there's certainly aspects where I'm like, okay, Miis are still around and they don't add a lot to anything really anymore. Because I feel like the only thing that Miis really are at this point is like just a portrait, but they never really did a lot with the Miis. There's only a handful of games where the Miis really do something, like what was that game that Pup has, that Mii game that I don't know, I cannot recall it right now. Where all your Miis just basically live in a house together.
Oh, I know which one it is, but I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
It's not Miitopia.
No, Miitopia was the last one that...
Tomodachi Life.
Yeah, Tomodachi Life. So that was one where the Miis just had some sort of relevance to be in, but also not really.
Yeah.
And...
Miitopia is like the first 3DS to Switch port that Nintendo themselves did, and I'm like, sure, okay, but could you really not have chosen anything else? A Link Between Worlds would have been really fun on the Switch.
Yeah.
Icarus Uprising would have been really fun on the Switch.
Can we talk about Icarus Uprising here for a moment? Because that game fucking rules.
But the controls suck.
Yes.
Especially if you're a left-hander, like we are.
Like when it came out, we were so hyped for Kid Icarus Uprising, because you haven't seen a Kid Icarus game in years at that point. And now it's back to that. By the way, you haven't seen a new Kid Icarus game in years. And we were like, damn, it looks so good. And we got it, and we played it. We beat it. We beat it, yeah. We kind of forced ourselves through the controls and we adapted, because that's the only way you can play this game if you're left-handed.
I think at some point we did. They end up kind of sort of like the controls, especially since I used the Circle Pad Pro.
Yeah, and I just kind of found a way for me to work around the controls.
But this is one of those kinds of games that definitely needs 2 sticks, as well as motion controls, optional motion controls for the aiming,
please.
like they do for Splatoon.
Yeah,
where you can activate motion controls to support their aiming.
Yeah, because I think by now this is like 5 years ago again, because it's definitely not a recent thing, but I tried to play Kid Icarus Uprising again at one point, and I could, for the life of me, not get a hang of the controls.
Yeah.
Even with what I remembered trying to do back then, I just could not get back into the controls of that game, and I was not even through the first stage, and I kept dying constantly because I just could not control anything really, and I was like, I can't. It's way too frustrating for me to try to figure out how to finagle this whole thing, because it's just not made for a left-handed person, and that's frustrating.
Yeah, I've had something similar where I gave Kid Icarus Uprising another shot like a few weeks ago, and I came pretty much to the same conclusion. And it also doesn't help that the like little knob on the right of the new 3DS is not a suitable replacement for a proper circle pad.
No, not at all. It's nice that there is something like this, but honestly, even in games that only used it as a minor extra feature, it was always jank and don't get any sort of feedback on what exactly you're doing with the circle pads there.
With the
knob is allowed to be called a circle pad.
With the little C knob or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's just... it's not a game for left-handed people, not at all. And that's a shame, because I would so love to play that game again, but I just cannot.
Same.
I cannot. And that's kind of the big shame with the game, is just, why am I not small? I take it game. For whatever reason, I got hit by lightning and I did not shrink. I don't get why, but who am I to complain about a gift horse? But yeah, please give us Kid Icarus Uprising again. I would just so love to see that game again and play it with better controls.
The port would be enough.
Yeah. And I don't know how long we've been going this time, but I think
you're done?
I think we're done for today.
Okay.
Maybe we should keep a timer just so that we know somehow how long we've been going.
Oh man, Cheeseland was there.
No, well, we could have.
Nah, it's okay.
Anyway, we did not really have one cohesive topic this time, but I mean, for having the first podcast episode essentially being in the online mode, I think it's okay that, as weird and wacky and all over the place as the online mode is, it makes sense that the first online podcast version was also weird and all over the place.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had some fun with that one. We went over a few topics that definitely are interesting to talk about, especially for later projects that I plan on doing, like Megaman Battle Network definitely is a big part of that.
I'm curious when exactly the Battle Network Legacy Collection is going to come out next year, because they just said, hi, it's coming out in 2023. So yeah, it could come out like at the beginning of the year, but it could also come out like at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And And that's also not taking into account the potential for it getting delayed in case they need more development time.
Yeah. Which honestly, I will not be upset because I'm fine with games getting delayed so that they get polished a little bit more. I would get upset if they say they delay it and they delay it and they delay it and it never comes out. Then I would be a little bit upset.
Yeah.
But I can wait.
The thing I'm hoping for the Legacy Collection is that maybe they do end up adding like an online mode where you can like connect with someone else and play a match against them. But I don't know. At the
custom navis would be cool.
I don't know.
I don't think they will do that, but that would be really cool.
Yeah, I feel like custom navis would go way beyond the scope of just a collection of those games. And online mode, I don't know, because the official website says only for one player. So yeah,
let's just see.
Let's just wait and see, because all we really know about the collection is that it exists and that it comes out next year. And that the font is like typewriter, like, which I mean, they could have chosen a better font, but there's also worse font choices.
Yeah, for the internet, it's Comic Sans.
God, if that collection comes out on Steam, I'm pretty sure that there's absolutely going to be a Comic Sans mod for it.
100%. Anyway. Again, we ranted longer at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed that one. See ya another time. Or hear you another time. It's a podcast.
Battle Network!
Yeah.